Welcome to the Discourse Analyzer AI Toolkit, where articles come alive. You're listening to the audio version of our article. For the full text and an interactive experience, check out the link in the description below. Interact with any selection using our AI assistant to enhance your understanding. Let's explore.
Case studies in gender studies and discourse analysis. In the expansive realm of gender studies and discourse analysis, the examination of gender in political discourse, workplace communication, and social media platforms stands as a testament to the field's interdisciplinary and dynamic nature. The analysis of political speech styles of influential leaders like Margaret Thatcher and Angela Merkel, the pioneering work on gendered communication in professional settings by Robin Lakoff and Deborah Cameron, and Susan Herring's insightful research into gender dynamics within computer-mediated communication collectively illustrate the profound impact of language on the construction and negotiation of gender identities. These scholarly contributions not only illuminate the complexities of gendered discourse but also offer valuable frameworks for understanding how gender norms and inequalities are perpetuated and challenged within various social contexts. 1. Gender in political discourse. The analysis of gender in political discourse, particularly through the examination of speech styles of prominent female leaders like Margaret Thatcher and Angela Merkel, offers insightful case studies for gender studies and discourse analysis. By scrutinizing how these leaders navigate the traditionally male-dominated sphere of politics through their communication strategies, researchers can uncover the intricate ways in which gender influences and is influenced by political discourse. These case studies not only illuminate the challenges faced by women in positions of power but also highlight the strategies they employ to assert authority and legitimacy. 1. Margaret Thatcher, the Iron Lady. Margaret Thatcher, the first female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, presents a fascinating case study in gender and political discourse. Dubbed the Iron Lady, Thatcher's speech style and public persona were carefully crafted to project authority and decisiveness in a political landscape overwhelmingly dominated by men. Navigating gender expectations. Thatcher's speech style underwent notable changes after she became the leader of the Conservative Party. She received vocal training to lower the pitch of her voice, a modification intended to convey authority and seriousness. This adaptation reflects the gendered expectations of leadership communication, where lower-pitched voices are often associated with strength and competence. Assertiveness and femininity. Thatcher's discourse was characterized by a blend of assertiveness and traditional femininity. While her speeches and public addresses often displayed a commanding and uncompromising stance on policy issues, she also did not entirely eschew traditional feminine qualities, navigating a delicate balance between being authoritative without contravening gendered expectations of female politeness and warmth. 2. Angela Merkel, the Mutti of Germany. Angela Merkel, Germany's first female chancellor, offers a contrasting case study in gender and political discourse. Known for her pragmatic and unemotional communication style, Merkel has been nicknamed Mutti, Mother, a moniker that encapsulates her public persona as a nurturing yet firm leader. Pragmatism and approachability. Merkel's speech style is marked by pragmatism, clarity, and an avoidance of overt emotionalism or rhetorical flourish. This approachability, combined with her emphasis on consensus and rationality, challenges traditional masculine models of leadership that prioritize assertiveness and dominance. Gender and crisis management. Merkel's communication during crises, such as the Eurozone crisis or the COVID-19 pandemic, showcases her ability to project calm, competence, and care. Her discourse during these times further complicates traditional gendered expectations of leadership, demonstrating that qualities traditionally coded as feminine, such as empathy and collective responsibility, can be powerful assets in political leadership. 3. Analyzing gender in political discourse. Strategies of legitimation. Both Thatcher and Merkel employed specific discursive strategies to legitimize their leadership in a male-dominated political field. Analyzing their speech styles provides insights into how female political leaders use language to navigate, conform to, or challenge gendered expectations of leadership. Impact on public perceptions. The public reception of Thatcher's and Merkel's communication styles reflects broader societal attitudes toward gender and leadership. Discourse analysis can reveal how media portrayals and public discussions around their leadership styles contribute to reinforcing or contesting gender stereotypes in politics. Contribution to gender studies and discourse analysis. These case studies enrich the fields of gender studies and discourse analysis by illustrating the dynamic interplay between gender, power, and language in the realm of political leadership. They underscore the importance of critically examining gender as a factor that shapes communication styles, public personas, and leadership practices in political discourse. By examining the speech styles of Margaret Thatcher and Angela Merkel, scholars can gain valuable insights into the complexities of gender in political discourse, offering lessons on the power of language to both challenge and reinforce gender norms within the highest echelons of political power. 2. Workplace communication. The exploration of workplace communication through the lens of gender studies and discourse analysis reveals critical insights into how gender norms and identities are constructed, negotiated, and contested in professional contexts. Two significant contributors to this area of study are Robin Lakoff and Deborah Cameron, whose research has illuminated the ways in which language both reflects and shapes gender dynamics in the workplace. By examining their work, we can better understand the complex interplay between gender, power, and language in professional environments. 1. Robin Lakoff's research on language and woman's place. Robin Lakoff's pioneering work, particularly her book, Language and Woman's Place, 1975, laid the groundwork for the study of gender and language. Lakoff identified specific linguistic features and communication styles that were socially attributed to women, often perceived as less assertive or authoritative than those attributed to men. Her key observations include hedging and qualifiers. Lakoff noted that women were more likely to use linguistic strategies such as hedging, I think, maybe, and qualifiers, kind of, sort of, which could undermine the perceived assertiveness or certainty of their statements. Politeness and apologies. Women were also observed to use more polite forms and apologies, even in situations where they were not at fault, reflecting broader societal expectations for women to be agreeable and non-confrontational. Implications for the workplace. In professional settings, these communication styles could impact women's ability to project authority, potentially affecting their leadership perception and career advancement. Lakoff's work highlights the need for awareness of how linguistic practices can perpetuate gender inequalities in the workplace. 2. Deborah Cameron's work on gender and professional discourse. Deborah Cameron, a linguist known for her research on language, gender, and sexuality, has extensively explored gender and professional discourse. Her work emphasizes the diversity of communication styles among both women and men and critiques the essentialist assumptions about gendered communication. Key contributions include The Myth of Mars and Venus. In her book, The Myth of Mars and Venus, 2007, Cameron argues against the popular notion that men and women are inherently different in their communication styles. Instead, she suggests that variations in communication are influenced by context, power dynamics, and individual personalities rather than by gender alone. Power relations in professional discourse. Cameron's research explores how power relations in the workplace are negotiated through discourse, showing that gendered expectations can influence communicative behavior, but also emphasizing the agency individuals have in navigating these expectations. Challenging stereotypes. Cameron advocates for moving beyond stereotypes of gendered communication, arguing for a more nuanced understanding that considers the complex factors influencing how people speak and interact in professional settings. 3. Workplace communication in gender studies and discourse analysis. Analyzing workplace dynamics. The work of Lakoff and Cameron provides valuable frameworks for analyzing how gendered norms and power dynamics are enacted and reproduced through language in the workplace. This includes examining how linguistic practices can influence perceptions of competence, authority, and leadership. Promoting gender equity. Their research also contributes to efforts to promote gender equity in professional environments by challenging the linguistic stereotypes that constrain individuals' roles and opportunities based on gender. Interdisciplinary implications. the study of gender and workplace communication intersects with organizational behavior, sociology, and business studies, illustrating the interdisciplinary relevance of gender studies and discourse analysis in understanding and improving professional environments. By integrating the insights of Robin Lakoff and Deborah Cameron, scholars and practitioners can critically engage with the ways in which language serves as a site of gender construction and negotiation in the workplace, offering pathways toward more inclusive and equitable professional communication practices. 3. Social media and online communities. Susan Herring's extensive research on gender and computer-mediated communication, CMC, provides invaluable insights into the dynamics of social media and online communities through the lens of gender studies and discourse analysis. Her work explores how digital platforms both reflect and reshape gender norms, offering a nuanced understanding of the ways gender is constructed and contested in virtual spaces. Herring's analyses of online interaction patterns, gendered communication styles, and the representation of gender in digital environments have significantly contributed to the field, highlighting the complex interplay between technology, gender, and discourse. 1. Key contributions of Susan Herring. Gender differences in online communication. Herring's research has documented gender differences in communication styles across various online platforms, including discussion forums, social media, and chat rooms. She has found that, similar to offline communication patterns, women's online postings tend to be more polite and supportive, whereas men's postings are more assertive and confrontational. These findings suggest that socialized gender norms influence how individuals communicate online. Online harassment and gender. Herring has also investigated the gendered nature of online harassment, noting that women, particularly those who express feminist viewpoints or who occupy traditionally male-dominated spaces, are disproportionately targeted for harassment. Her work underscores the ways in which digital spaces can reproduce and amplify offline gender inequalities and power dynamics. The role of anonymity and pseudonymity. Another significant area of Herring's research is the exploration of how anonymity and pseudonymity in online interactions can influence the expression of gender. While the anonymity of online spaces can offer individuals the freedom to explore and express diverse gender identities, it can also facilitate gender-based harassment and aggression, complicating the relationship between gender identity and online behavior. 2. Implications for gender studies and discourse analysis. Analyzing gender construction in digital discourse. Herring's research provides a framework for analyzing how gender is constructed and performed in digital discourse. By examining the linguistic and communicative practices of online communities, researchers can uncover the ways in which gender norms and identities are negotiated and contested in virtual spaces. Understanding power dynamics in online communities. The study of gender and computer-mediated communication also sheds light on the power dynamics that shape online interactions. Herring's work highlights the need to consider how gender intersects with other social categories, such as race, class, and sexuality, to influence individuals' experiences and participation in online communities. Developing inclusive online spaces. Insights from Herring's research contribute to discussions on how to make digital environments more inclusive and equitable. By understanding the gender dynamics of online communication, platform designers, community managers, and users can work towards creating spaces that are welcoming and supportive of diverse gender expressions and identities. Susan Herring's contributions to the study of gender and computer-mediated communication offer critical perspectives on the complexities of digital gender dynamics. Her work not only enhances our understanding of how gender is expressed and experienced in online environments but also provides important implications for addressing gender inequality and fostering more inclusive online communities. Through the lens of gender studies and discourse analysis, Herring's research underscores the transformative potential of digital spaces for challenging traditional gender norms and promoting diverse forms of gender expression. Conclusion. The intricate analysis of gender within political discourse, workplace communication, and the digital sphere underscores the critical role of language in shaping gender identities and power dynamics. From the assertive speech styles of Margaret Thatcher and Angela Merkel navigating the male-dominated political arena, through the exploration of gendered communication patterns in the workplace highlighted by Robin Lakoff and Deborah Cameron, to Susan Herring's examination of gender interactions in online communities. These studies reveal the multifaceted ways in which gender is constructed, expressed, and contested through discourse. These contributions not only enrich our understanding of the intersection between gender and language but also emphasize the potential for discourse analysis to advocate for gender equity and social change. By critically engaging with these diverse areas of study, researchers and practitioners alike can continue to challenge prevailing gender norms and foster more inclusive and equitable social environments. Frequently asked questions. How is gender analyzed in political discourse? Gender in political discourse is analyzed by examining the speech styles and communication strategies of leaders like Margaret Thatcher and Angela Merkel. This analysis helps uncover how gender influences political communication and leadership in a male-dominated sphere, revealing the strategies female leaders use to assert authority and legitimacy. What was Margaret Thatcher's approach to navigating gender expectations in her political career? Margaret Thatcher adapted her speech style, notably lowering the pitch of her voice, to convey authority and seriousness, reflecting gendered expectations of leadership communication. Her blend of assertiveness with traditional femininity showcased a strategic navigation of gender expectations in politics. How does Angela Merkel's communication style challenge traditional models of leadership? Angela Merkel's pragmatic, clear, and consensus-oriented communication style, along with her avoidance of overt emotionalism, challenges traditional masculine models of leadership. Her approach during crises has demonstrated that qualities traditionally coded as feminine can be powerful in political leadership. What is Robin Lakoff's contribution to understanding gender in workplace communication? Robin Lakoff identified linguistic features attributed to women, such as hedging and qualifiers, which can undermine their perceived assertiveness in professional settings. Her work highlights how these communication styles impact women's ability to project authority in the workplace. How does Deborah Cameron critique assumptions about gendered communication in professional settings? Deborah Cameron argues against the notion that men and women inherently have different communication styles. She emphasizes that communication variations are influenced more by context and power dynamics than by gender, challenging stereotypes of gendered communication. What are the key findings of Susan Herring's research on gender and computer-mediated communication? Susan Herring's research documents gender differences in online communication styles, the gendered nature of online harassment, and the effects of anonymity on gender expression. Her work illustrates how digital platforms both reflect and reshape gender norms and dynamics. How do digital platforms impact the construction and negotiation of gender identities? Digital platforms offer spaces for the expression and exploration of diverse gender identities but also reproduce and amplify offline gender inequalities. The anonymity of online interactions can both facilitate freedom in gender expression and enable gender-based harassment. What strategies have been employed by female political leaders to legitimize their authority? Female political leaders like Thatcher and Merkel have employed discursive strategies that include adapting their speech styles and communication approaches to navigate, conform to, or challenge gendered expectations of leadership. What implications does the study of gender in workplace communication have for professional environments? The study of gender in workplace communication underlines the need for awareness and change in linguistic practices that perpetuate gender inequalities, advocating for more inclusive communication styles that enhance gender equity in professional settings. In what ways does the study of gender and computer-mediated communication contribute to creating more inclusive online communities? Understanding the gendered dynamics of online communication helps in identifying and addressing issues like harassment and inequality, guiding the design of digital platforms and community guidelines towards fostering more inclusive and supportive online spaces.